Dave, last night when you were talking about Shohei and the decision to have him not hit today, you were saying just you felt like you wanted him to have a mental break from being at the plate, and you were just seeing some of his body language. What have you learned about Shohei Ohtani and managing him as he really is experiencing kind of probably his first battle of maybe just kind of struggle offensively right now since he's been with the Dodgers?
I think what I've learned about Shohei is his primary focus is helping the Dodgers win. And I say that because he understands the rest that he potentially gets by not hitting on certain days that he doesn't pitch is best for him in the short and the long term, for him and the Dodgers. I think that's one thing. I think he is smart enough to know his body very well, of his body and how it's responding to what's we're asking of him as far as hitting and pitching. So to be self-aware and honest with where his body is at, and to listen to it in the sense of, so when I talked to him about giving him an off day, there's no resistance, it's complete buy-in, and that's a good thing.
So then do you think just some of these offensive struggles could then be due to more of that just fatigue of how demanding his role is?
I do. I do. With pitching, there's the day of the start, what it takes on your mind in the box. The day after you're hitting, the tax on your body and what you endured the day before your outing. So that affects the hitting. That's 2 days right there. So obviously, when I write his name in the lineup, I feel very good about writing Shohei's name in the lineup every time. But I do think that, with what he's done on the pitching side and how well he's pitched, there's been a little bit of, fallback or whatever on the hitting. But I do think that it'll correct itself, as time goes on.
Is it more like the actual physical toll of pitching that's impacting the hitting, or is it the time management when his swing gets out of whack, not being able to spend as much time kind of ironing it out as he's kind of balancing both things?
I think it's both, because I think that, the time, the physical part of it would cut into the physical part of the pitching, right? So that's why he can't go full bore into working on his swing, grinding through it to right himself when his mechanics aren't where they need to be. Because then there's the diminishing returns with the pitching. So it's nuanced. It's kind of a balancing act. And I think he's doing a really fine job of it. And just like the other day here, he took BP on the field early, 2 days before his start, to give himself time to recover for tonight. So there's things that he's working on and kind of trying to evolve and read the room, or be read and react kind of thing.
That gives you confidence, like it'll rectify itself, just like, is that where it comes back to like the talent and the fact that he's done this before and that sort of thing?
Yeah, all of it. Yep. I think the talent, he's done it before. I don't think he's too far off. I really don't. He's still taking his walks, getting on base. So it's just an easy bet that he'll kind of return to his mean. Yeah.
What do you see that he is missing at the plate right now?
I think he's just missing pitches that he should hit. He's not squaring them up. I think he's done a much better job in the last week, I think he's done a better job of controlling the chase. But then now, pitches in the hitting zone, I just think that getting him off the end, getting beat on fastballs, things like that, when he's right, doesn't happen.
His bat speed being down at all?
I heard murmurs of that. So I haven't noticed it. I mean, that could probably play into the fact that, he's getting beat on some pitches. But honestly, I don't know if that's... But, I mean, if you say that, which people have talked about that, is that a sign that there's a little bit of fatigue in there, which in turn is why we feel like, give him a day off here and there, and hopefully you can reset him.
We've talked about this before. Instead of the half day sort of not hitting when he pitches, giving him the next day entirely off. Is that worth considering again?
Yeah, I think anything should be on the table. Everything is on the table. I just feel that, yeah, I mean, it's certainly up for consideration, absolutely. But again, I don't know what the right answer is as far as outside of not playing him. Because we're better when he's in the lineup. He's still a presence. There's no pitcher out there that would prefer to have him not in the lineup. So yeah, but I think, Bill, everything's on the table, certainly.
Do you evaluate it or look at it at all as is his greater value to us as a hitter or a pitcher, or are you guys just looking at the total impact he makes doing both and trying to figure out kind of how to maximize that over the course of the year?
I tried not to get too far in the weeds on that because it's moot. He's going to do both. He's one of our best pitchers. He's one of our best hitters. So I don't spend too much time on it. It's a good exercise for others, but not for me.
He's such a competitor, and I know you shared just kind of parts of the conversations you have with him. Is he someone who would ever come up to you and express, I guess, fatigue or anything like that?
No. He would never ask out, no.
Freddie took some swings on the field yesterday and then had a couple hits. What are you seeing kind of where he's been at this trip, and kind of also another guy trying to get back on track?
Yeah, yesterday was a good day. I think that, when he's, hitting grounders to the first baseman, it's frustrating because his game is to the middle, to left center field. And so yesterday, those 2-out hits on breaking balls was a really good sign. And he knows what he's trying to work on, and it was good to see him, reap the benefits yesterday. And hopefully, it'll carry over, to today and tomorrow. But it was good to see yesterday.